All my viewers, thank you for coming back to my channel. I want to talk about this application known as Microsoft Word. I know many of you use it, but there are some basic skills that you might be missing. That's why I've decided to record a video to enhance and give you the skills that you can apply while using Microsoft Word. So the application I'm using is on the taskbar. So it is important to know which application you have installed. So if you want to know which Microsoft version you're using, after opening Microsoft Word, in fact, let me close it. And then I can go to the taskbar. I've pinned it on the taskbar. It is pinned on the taskbar. If it was not there, you go to search, then you type Word. It can give you two options, WordPad, which is the lower version, and Microsoft Word, which is the bigger version. So if I click on Microsoft Word, it will open very fast, and then it is telling me the time zone where I am. It's good afternoon. So down here it will tell me a blank document. If I click on a blank document, this is the interface I'm meeting. So in this interface is where I want to talk about a few, not all, I cannot exhaust it in one video because it is a very big application. So if you want to know the Microsoft version you're using, you'll go to the menu. The menu has got file, home, insert, design, layout, reference, mailing, up to help. So you click on file, then you come down to the pull down menu. There is more to be seen. Then you click on account. When you click on account, it will tell you that your Microsoft Office product is activated, and I'm using 2016. The latest is in the 2020s. So I'm using this one because I find it to be more stable. I tried 2019, it was giving me problems. So I had to uninstall it and install this 2016. It's very stable because the work output is what matters, what you get out of Microsoft Word. So one day I also will show you how to activate your, I'll show a video that will show you how to activate Microsoft Office, because some people use unlicensed, and that one they cannot be able to work well. So I'll be able to show you how to activate. So I was just showing you how to see the version you're using. Mine is 2016. So I'll go back. So I'm here. So today in this video, I want to give you some basic skills that you can apply and work with Microsoft Word in a more proficient way. So the first things first. When you want to type a document in Microsoft Word, you must start by setting up the page layout so that you know how your layout is. Even if you are building a house, you have to do the measurement of the floor, you do the foundation before you do the walling. So even this applies to Microsoft Word. So before you start typing, please use this blue part up here where my cursor is called the title bar. The title bar is where document word is, document word 1 and the name of the application word. Below the title bar, we have the menu bar. Menu bar has got the file, home, insert, as you can see. Below the menu bar, we have the ribbon. So the ribbon, they are categorized. There are so many, that's why they're categorized. The first group is called clipboard. The second group is called font. The third group of icons that you can use is called paragraph. And then styles, editings, add-in. That is under home. If you click on insert, the game changes again. The ribbon keeps on changing. Design, it keeps on changing. So what I was saying, that is, if you want to start typing a document, go to layout. Once you're in layout, go to the group, a family group called the page setup. This page setup has got things like margins, orientation, size, columns, break, line break, and hypernation. So if I click, there's a small arrow next to the page setup down here. If I click on it, it will give me the page setup. So the best settings that you can use, you can set these ones into centimeters or you can set them to inches. By default, mine is centimeters. But somebody might be wondering, how can I change it to inches? But let me first of all change this one, the centimeters first. The top margin, a paper that we normally use when you are printing, we can use A4. A4 is the most universal paper that people use to print. If you take two A4s, you put them together, you get A3, which is a very big size. And that one requires a bigger printer. So for our case, which is now A4, the top margin should be 1.5 centimeters. The left also is, it's good I put it to be 1.5 centimeters. Bottom, I'll give it also 1.5 centimeters, so that I'm also giving space to put the headers and the footers. And also when I'll be punching the paper for filing, there'll be space so that the printed work is not even disturbed by the punch paper. So here I'm also going to put 1.5 centimeters. After doing that, so a paper's got top, a paper's got the bottom side, it has got the left side and the right side. The issue of gutter is when you are doing the binding. So this one I'll leave it there it is. The next thing, after setting the margins to 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, it should be 1.5 all through, 1.5 like that. I'll go and ask myself, which orientation am I using? Am I using landscape or am I using portrait? Portrait is when the paper stands straight. Landscape when you put it slanting horizontally. So portrait is vertical, so I'll put it vertical. And then which kind of paper size am I using? After setting the margins and the orientation, I'll go to paper size. Here there are all sorts of paper size, but my interest is A4. So after putting A4, I'll go back to margin. So I want to set my computer to be using these settings all the time, unless otherwise. So I'll click on set as default, and then I click on yes. So by default now, my paper size will be A4 portrait, and the margins will be 1.5 for both top, bottom, right hand, and left. That's the most important thing to do. So even if I come here now and then you go to custom margin, you'll find that it is 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 portrait. Paper size is what? A4. The width by default is that, and the height is this one here. So the other thing I wanted to give you, sometimes you want your measurements to change from centimeters to inches. So how do you do that? So what you do, you come to File, and then you come to More, then you come to what is called Options. So under Options here, you go to a place called Advanced. Under Advanced, we have got editing options, we have got cut, copy, and paste, we have got image size and quality, we have got show document content, we have got display. So under display here, there's a place show measurements in unit. So mine was centimeters. So this is the place where you click and change it to inches, so that you adjust centimeters to inches. So this is where you play around with it. But I prefer centimeters. So I'll click on what? Okay. So the centimeters that I'm talking about, there under the ribbon, we have the ruler. And this ruler now is in centimeters. I'll talk about it later when I'm doing what is called tab setting. Very important in Microsoft Word. This ruler is very crucial, but many people don't know how to use it. The other thing that I would like to talk about very fast is the ribbon. This ribbon, sometimes it can disappear. You can see it's very, very crucial to have this ribbon. When you click on the menu, you see the ribbon. You click on insert, you see the ribbon. But sometimes it can disappear. How can you bring it back? If I right click here, I can say collapse ribbon. What I've done, I've just gone to an empty space where the ribbon has got space. Then I right click, then I get these two options. So if I click collapse, it goes like that. So in this kind of situation, you'll find that working with Microsoft Word is a bit difficult, because now if you click on home is when you see it. When you click it disappears. So the best thing to do is to right click. Where is the ribbon again? So I'll click here. There's a place where it was saying collapse, 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 show below ribbon. So I'll click on home. When the ribbon appears, I'll go to an empty space, and then let me see design. Yeah, this empty space. Then I remove this tick, which is for the collapse ribbon. So I've removed it, so it is there permanent. So that's how you play around with the ribbon. The ribbon should not be collapsed. If it's collapsed, it will keep on disappearing and disturbing you. So I want to start by the area called home menu, and then an area called font. But before I go to font, I need to have some text. So my heading, I'll type here font. Font. I've typed in capital letters. If I want only the F to be capital and the rest to be small letters, I don't need to rub everything. I'll just select it, and then I come to under the font here. There is it's called change case, capital A and a small a. You click here, and then you select sentence case. Sentence case changes it to a normal sentence, whereby the capital letter starts, the rest are whatever. So if you want to change it to capital, so you still come here, you say uppercase. If you want everything to be small letters, you click here, and then you choose what? Lowercase. So that's how you play around. So my heading, I want it to being a heading, let it be uppercase. So there it is. So I've already done that. If I want to change the size, of course, everybody knows that. I want size 19. 19 is not on this list. You can see it is 18, 20, 22. They are going with even numbers. So what I'll do, I'll come here, and then I rub that. I type 19. Then I press enter. So I've put a number which was not on the list by manually typing. And then to increase to change the font style, I'll come here. Then I look for a font style that I might need. So these font type, they are arranged alphabetically. So you can go down and look for something that you want. Anyway, I'll just use Times New Romans. By typing that, I'll get what? So it is Times New Roman, size 14. Then I'll make it bold, and then I can also underline. But I don't want to underline the traditional way. I can click on this pull down menu, then I choose a fancy wave underline. So I've already done that. So remember that when you do the formatting before you go to the next paragraph, it will capture the things I've done on the word font. So what I'll do, I'll press enter, and then I'll come and remove all formattings from the selection. So by clicking on this one here, it has removed all the bold, the underline, the size 19, and everything. So it has removed all that. So I want to prepare a document so that I can use it to be able to demonstrate a few things. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll use a formula, equal sign, then I type the word rand, open the bracket. I want 5 paragraphs, and on each of the of the 5 paragraph, I want it to have 6 lines. Then I close the parenthesis. So that is a formula that will give me 5 paragraphs, and on each paragraph I'll get 5 lines. So if I press enter, I have a very big story that has been given here. So all those are 6 paragraphs, and each paragraph has got 1, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So it was just a random formula to help me get some text for demonstration. So by default, if you see, people normally start typing from the left side going towards the right side. So the left side is always aligned compared to the right side, which is a bit ragged. So when I'm using this part here, it is easier for me I can see the heading is fonts, but I'll be forced to go even to paragraph so that I can demonstrate so many things. So I'll use font and paragraph. If I want to center my work, I'll come to paragraph and then click on center. If I want to take it to the right, I'll take it to the right. I cannot justify that heading because it is a very small word. Justify can apply on the paragraph. So I'll take it back to center using that. So the first paragraph starts from video and it ends in galleries. How do you select a paragraph? Using a mouse. You triple click. By triple clicking, you have selected a paragraph. Now, I told you this side is a bit ragged. So if you want to justify means that both sides you try and make you space between the words so that both sides are streamlined. So now it is justified. If I want it to be right aligned, now this side is streamlined, the left side is ragged. This is a very funny formatting style. If you want to center it, now that's how it looks. And then left aligned, the default is normally left aligned. So that one I've just touched on what is called alignment. Left align, we have got center, we have got right align, and we have got justify. The next one here is called line spacing. So line spacing, you can be able to, by default, I'm using, let me see, if you can put 1, 1.15, 1.2, 2.0, 2.5, 3, which is very crazy. So that is line spacing that you can play around with it. So if you click on this paragraph, there's a place here. If you click on this paragraph, it will give you line spacing here under spacing. So you can click here and then you choose single and then you click OK. So that is single line spacing. So the other thing that I would like to touch about when I'm here, there is something on the clipboard. I'm jumping on using paragraph, fonts, and whatever. There's something known as Format Painter. So this Format Painter, I would like to talk about it. It copies all the formatting you have done on a particular section and applies to other sections so that they are similar. For example, if this paragraph was having a subheading, let's say we call it themes. We call it themes. So let me type themes. And then this second paragraph here, it has got another heading called the reading view. Let's say reading view. And then the next one, I think that is enough for my demonstration. So for instance, this, how many do I have? I have only 2. Let me add this one so that I can have a good demo. So this one here, we can say head and footer. Header and footer. So you can see there are some subheadings. The main heading is font. This font, I gave it bold, underline, Roman, size 19. Now I'm going to the subheading. This subheading, I'll make it not to be bigger than the heading. So I'll make it size 15. So I'll type 15. And then also I give it Times New Roman. I make it bold. I make it italic. And then I change the font color. The font color is found here. So the font color, you can give it any color that you want. Let's say red. Now you can also apply this one here. This is to make it look fancy. So I can also put something like that. So you can see these subheadings, it looks now a bit fancy. If I want what I've done here to be applicable to reading view and also to be applicable to head and footer, these are subheadings. And I don't want to repeat everything I did here. What I'll do, I'll select this one and then I go and double click on Format Painter. If I click once, if I click here once, it will appear only once. The Format Painter will appear only once. So what I'll do, I'll double click. If I double click, I have a brush. So on this brush, I'll come here and I'll be able to select this one here. So it will select and apply the same. Still, I have the brush. So this brush, I'm still applying it and I click here. So it has applied all the formattings that are done here to reading view, and it has also applied it to head and footer, and I still have it. So what I need to do, I have to take it back where I got it and say thank you. So I'll come and click here and say Format Painter, thank you for helping me. So it has applied. That's how you use it. If you click once, it will only apply to reading view. But if you double click, it will apply to several other places, and then eventually you are supposed to go and click back there. So that is it. So if this document was my document and I wanted to put my name on it so that my name appears in all the pages and everything, I'll come and talk about headers and footers. So that one, you go to insert and then you go to a place called header. You click on header. You can choose this one here. So this one here, you can type your name. My name is Dennis Bay. And then here, I can put a date, let's say, so that I know when I made the date. So I can say today is this is the current date. And then here, maybe I don't want anything there, so I can eliminate that. And then I can switch to the footer. I can go to the footer. This is the header. So when I'm in the footer, there what I can do, I can be able to put the page number. So I'll click there, then I go to current, then I can take this one here. So that is going to be the page number. So this page number automatically it will be changing as I proceed to other pages. So eventually after doing that, come and close header and footer. So on top here, this is the header. Below here, this is the footer. If you want to force the document to end here and go to the next page, the command that you're supposed to use is a combination of keys. You press Control key. I want to go to page 2 because here I'm in page 1 of 1. I want to go to page 2. So it is going to be Control Enter. So Control Enter, it will force the document to prematurely go to the next page before it is full. So I'm now in page 2. So if I scroll down, you can see automatically down I have page 2. If I'd saved it, for instance, I'd saved my document. To save is Control S. You press Control S or you go to File, then you click on Save, and then you decide where you're saving it. Let me, I want to save it in this PC in a place called by Documents. Documents. And then I call it, I can give it Font Doc. Font is the file name, Docs is the file extension. So if I just see Docs, I know it is a file that was made in Microsoft Word. And then the save as type automatically, it's a Microsoft Word document. Then I click on save. So if I wanted to include something on the footer here, let's say I wanted to include the file name. So I could have come to document information here, then I put the file name, and also I leave a space. I can also put the file path so that I know this file font.docs is found in a place called documents on the OneDrive in a folder called Dennis Bay, in another subfolder called Dennis, and the users is found in local disk C. So this one gives me the full information about my document, so I can close. So it is found in all the pages. That's how you do it. I want to talk about paragraphs. These are paragraph. And I say to select a paragraph, you triple click. I've selected a paragraph. So there's what is called under paragraph called indent. So I'll come here. There are 4 types of indents under indentation. So when I do one, maybe you'll associate it with some documents that you have done before. So I'll start with a special place here. I went to paragraph. Let me go slowly. Paragraph, there's a button here next to paragraph. You click, and then you have what is called special. So if you click here, there's what is called first line. So on the ruler, you can decide where you want it to start. I can say I want it to start now using the ruler. I want to start at 1.5 centimeters. So I have to increase here to 1.5. So 1.5 centimeters. That's why I was saying the ruler is important. So if I click OK, this document has been indented on the first line, which means indentation means moving away from the margin. It has moved away from the left margin by 1.5. On the ruler, you can see it is indicated. So that is called first line indent. So the second paragraph, I can triple click again, and then I go to paragraph here, and then I come to a place called indentation. Then I come here, there's what is called hanging indent. Also this hanging indent, I can decide to put it at 1 centimeters or maybe 1.5. I don't know why I prefer 1.5. If I click OK, the word themes and a bit of and is hanging. The rest of the text has been indented inside, moved inside a bit. So this is called hangings because the first word of the first line is hanging. Then I go to the third paragraph. So these are 2 types of indentation. The first one is called first line. This one here is called hanging. And then the third one that I want to try now, let me triple click my mouse, triple click, yes. Then I come to paragraph. Then we have got left indent now. The 2 they are grouped under special. So under left now, I can indent it to 2 point, let's say 2.5 centimeters. If I click OK, this document, the paragraph that I have, the third paragraph, which is under reading view, has been indented to 2.5 on the ruler, meaning that it is starting from the ruler. If you check the ruler here, it's between 2 and 3. That is 2.5. The reason why sometimes you need to indent your document, you want to put an image here. So the image, you have to move the paragraph by indenting it on the left, and then it can move. Let me go to another type. So this is left indent. This one is left indent. This one here is hanging indent, and this one is called first line indent. So I'm going to another one. So if I triple click here again, I'll come here. So the opposite of left is going to be right. So also this one I can indent it by 2.5. Let's say, so that you can see the impact. 2.5 centimeters. So it is going to move from 18 going this side, because my page is from 0 to 18. So the right will be affected from the other side. So if I click OK, this document has given me room on this side. So this is called right indent on a paragraph. The last one, which it's my own creation. I believe if I come to first line, and then I change this one to 2.5, let's say the left to be 2.5. This is my own creation. I have not seen it anywhere. And then also this one to 2.5 or 3. It can be any. I'm just guessing on the ruler. So 2.5. So you can see this and this are 2.5. So I call it double indent. Both the left and right have been indented towards the center. It has moved towards the middle. So if I click OK, you can see on the left side there's space, on the right side there's space. You can put a logo here, you can put an image here, depending on the document you are creating. And then if I click on justify again, it is well aligned both sides. This one also, I can click on justify. Now you can see the work of justify. And then if somebody, an old person is reading this document, it's good also to adjust the line spacing. So line spacing, you can come here and then adjust the spacing to 1.5. And then I click OK. So you can see this one is 1.5. It's easier to read when it's 1.5. But for young generation, the Gen Zs, it's good you give them single line. So then you click on OK. So that is how it works. So there's something else again I've seen. If I select my entire document up to there, you can decide the spacing between the paragraph. Spacing between the paragraph. You can click here and then you say spacing after. You can put it 8. And also spacing before here, you can also adjust it to maybe that amount. So if you click OK, so there's uniformity. There's uniformity that is on the document. Back to Format Painter. I hope you got how to use Format Painter, because it applies the text that you have done, like themes, to other text. Let me do one more. So let's say video. Video, I make it color red. Video, I make it all to be capital. Video, I make it to be size what? Size 14. And then I make it underline. I make it whatever. I want a single line, just a single line. I make it also bold. I choose a font style like Algerian. So I've done a lot of things to video. If I double click on Format Painter, I can apply it to online. I can apply it to example. So by doing that, I've reinforced the Format Painter. Then you go back and click on Format Painter to leave it there. So that one I've already done it clearly. So far I've talked about headers and footers. I've talked about how to play around with the Format Painter. I've talked about how to apply bold, italic, which is very easy. The size, to change case, whether it is uppercase or lowercase. If I want to remove anything on a formatting that I've done like video, I want it to be back there it was. You select the word video and then you come here. This one is called clear all formatting. So if you click on this one here, it removes all the formatting that was applied. It's like you have a makeup and then you go to the bathroom, you take a shower. The entire makeup will disappear. Let's say online. Online has got serious makeup. It has got bold, it has got italic, it has got underline, it has got Algerian, it has got font size C, for font 14, it has got color red. So to remove all that makeup, which in computer we call formatting, you come to this button here. You say clear all the formatting. So it is back to there it was. So this A is to increase the size. This small a is to reduce the size. There's something else that I've realized that we need to talk about. This is Microsoft Word Basics. So I want to take this, I've pressed enter here and I can see my work seems to be left indent. So I'll go to paragraph here. I take this one back to default. The default was 0, where the ruler starts. So if I can come here, I can just type what? 0. and also here I type 0, 0, then I click on OK. So it is back to normal. There are some things that I can see here for formatting. There is what is called strike through, there's what is called subscript, there's what is called superscript. And all these things have got shortcuts. If you put the cursor here, it shows you the shortcuts. Shortcuts are very important. Shortcut to align left is Control L. To center is Control E. To align to the right, Control R. To justify, Control J. So if you put the cursor, it gives you, and it's good sometimes you know how to do these things so that you can move faster. To save is Control S. To open is Control O. So the shortcut keys are very important. If I type H2O, which in chemistry we call it water. So H2, let's say O, and then you want the 2 to move down. You have to select the 2, and then you come to what is called superscript. So superscript takes the text below the line. If it was 2 power 2, so the 2 should be raised up. So that is going to be called superscript. And this is the whatever that is applied, superscript. So we have seen subscript. This one takes the text below the line. Superscript raises it above the line. So you can apply this when you're typing a maths paper, or you're dealing with some chemicals, you're typing a chemistry paper, and you need to put this kind of they're found in the periodic table. So you can use that one there. The other thing I need to talk about, because I'm trying to exhaust the font, I'm trying also to exhaust, there is what is called bullets and numbering. So let me try and go to the next page. So the next page, which is page 2, you want to prepare a list. So for example, you want to prepare types of hardware. So I'm talking about bullets and numbering. Bullets and numbering are used to emphasize things which are in a list. So if I press enter, I'll start with bullets. So if I click here, I'll get a bullet. And it has, on the ruler, it has moved inside. It has been indented inside. I can decrease the indent by pushing it that. So it is at 0 and 1.6. So that is the indent. And also you can play around with this whatever hanging indent. So you can reduce this one a little by dragging it a bit so that it moves towards the whatever, somewhere there. Or you can just adjust it there. So these ones here, you move it inside a little bit, and then there it is. So types of hardware, I can say we have got mouse. If I press enter, automatically I get the bullet. We have got keyboard, and then we have got speaker. So outright speaker, and then we have got projector. So the ones I've listed are hardware which are found on the external part of the computer, the external hardware. Now I want to pause. I press enter, the bullet comes, and then I press backspace to remove it. So I've pressed backspace. Then I can type another heading called internal hardware. Now I want to list bullets which are now found within the computer system. You have to open the computer to see it. So I'll click on bullets here, and then I can push it inside again. I can see they're not matching, so what I'll do, I'll try and squeeze this one a bit, and also this one I bring it somewhere there. So these are how you play with the ruler tabs up here so that you have the same. So we have got what is called the motherboard. We have got the memory. This memory is also known as RAM. We have got the power supply unit. Power supply unit. These are hardwares which are found within the system unit. We have got the CMOS battery. This is called complementary metal oxide semiconductor battery. We have got the SATA cable. They are called SATA cables to connect the hard disk. We have got the hard disk itself, the hard disk itself, or nowadays we use solid state disk. Now we have got two headings. These headings, how do you select an heading? A heading? You can put the cursor to be like this. When it's like this, it's an I. Yeah. When it's like this, an R. If I click once, it selects the entire row. I can make this one bold, underline, and I can increase the size of this. So I can use the format painter to do the same to the next one. So I always use format painter many times. So these are you play around with bullets. So these bullets, you can see it emphasizes this one, CMOS battery. Let me right click and say ignore so that it's not underlined. So if I want to change the bullet to a different tie style, because sometimes it's good to be a bit fancy, you select the first bunch up to there, come here, look for something that you need. You can even put that one. If you see these one are not good, go to a place called to define bullet and then click on symbols. Then you can get several of them. So you can play around with this part. Even you can click here again, you look for whatever you want. So you can experiment in your computer and play around with these kind of things. So if you click there, there are so many. Let me try one called windings. Windings. Let me see. Windings. That's got this kind of stuff. So if I can take that one, you can see, and then I click on OK. And then now what I need to do is to move it inside a little bit. So it was offside. So I've taken it back to the margin by using this is called decrease and increase indent. So it has changed to another fancy one. You select like this, and then you click there. It's not there. So it's there, and then you push it inside so that they are well aligned. If you want to change it into numbers, you select it, and then you go and click on. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. You come and select like this, and then you click here. It becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the question you can be asked, it is all these are hardware. Why can you just continue after 4? You go to 5, 6, 7, 8, continue. But remember, there was a break of a heading called internal hardware. So if I want to continue, select the lower part here, select it. I want motherboard to be number 5. So you'll come here and then go to a place called set numbering value, and then start at which value. So you need to tell it start at 5 and then click OK. So it will be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 4, you go to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I hope you have understood the concept there. You click here, you go to set number value, tell the computer where to start from. If you want to change it into Roman numbers, it's the same thing. You click here, you go to numbering, and then you can play around with numberings which are there. It can be ABCD, it can be Roman numbers, ABCD with those brackets, something like that. And then also this side, you come and change it to this one here, and then you tell the computer this is D, so you want after ABCD E to start from E. So you'll come here and then set this one here, and then you come and change the alphabet to letter E. Then you click on OK. I hope you are getting the concept of playing continuation. Now, the other thing that about the ruler that I want to talk about, let me stop the bulleting. So this ruler here, the reason why I was emphasizing on this ruler, there is something in paragraph here. Paragraph is a very powerful thing. I've talked about indentation on paragraph. I've talked about spacing paragraph. I want to talk about tabs. Tabs is found on top of caps lock. If you look on top of caps lock is used to type capital letters. So on top of caps lock, in every computer, there is a tab key. Many people don't use it because they don't know its application. So I want to talk about tabs, and I'll use the tab key. Let's say, for example, you don't use a table, but you want to tabulate a few figures. So you can use tabs so that when you don't have to play around with tables, but the outcome will look as if they are well aligned, as if they're in a table. Table is columns and rows. But now I want to use tabs on the ruler. Before I start, my ruler starts from 0 centimeters all the way to 17 centimeters. So I want to prepare a menu for our tail. So I'll come here. I say, I'm just giving an example, real life example, menu. So the menu, we love things like I need to set the tab so that I can get it right. I'll give the type of food prepared in the hotel and then their prices. So what I'll do, I'll go to paragraph and then I go to a place called tabs. So if I click on tabs, it will give me this dialog box. So it asks me for the tab position, tab stop position. Because by default, we start typing from the left side. I'll say I'll start from 0. So 0 is my starting part. This is 0.51, 1.52, 2.53, all the way to 17, 17.5, 18. So I'll set that one. I've already set the first tab. Then I need to tab a little bit. Let's say I'll set it to 0.5. You'll get to understand when I start the setting. I'm typing on the keyboard 0.5, then I click on set. And then after that, I want to tab up to 15. So I'll type on my ruler 15 on the keyboard, but I want it to have some leaders. You know, the kind of tab I'm using is called the left tab, but I want it to have some leaders. So I'll take number 2 as the leader, then I click on set, and then I click on OK. So if you can check clearly on my screen, there is 0 tab, 1.5 tab, and you can see letter L is left tab, and then there is 15, but 15 there was a leader. So here what I was trying to say, now you can see the implication. I'll type here number 1. I'll type here, let's say I type 1, and then after typing 1, I'll press tab. So after typing tab, I'll type the soft drink. Soft drink. Then if the spelling of drink is not correct, drink. If I press tab key, it will move to tab 15, which has been set here. So if I press tab, it will move, and then I can say the price of that is 35. So I can start with Kenya shillings, depending on the denomination you're using, the dollar or whatever. So if I press enter, I'm down there again. No, I've pressed enter the wrong part. So I press enter, I'm here. So I'll type 2, I press tab. Then I can say cake. Then if I press tab, it takes me there. Then I can type. So I'm setting the tabs. So the cake can be, let's say, 100 shillings. Then I press tab. Number 3. Then I tab again. Then I can call it fries. Fries. If I tab, I put my Kenya shillings. Fries can be 200 shillings. And see my typing is having some issues. So that's how you set tabs. But also in simple terms, what I mean by tabs is you set it and the ruler guides you. So let me go and remove the tabs. Then I set another tab for you to understand. So when you want to remove these tabs, the L, the L, the L on the other side, you just come here, then you go to tabs, and then you say clear all, and then you click OK. Now on the ruler, you can see where the cursor is blinking, it is not there. So I just want to tabulate a few things using the left tab. The first one, I'll put it at 1. The other one, I can put it maybe at 6. The other one at 10. And the other one at 14. So I want to show you how to do that. You go to paragraph. You go to tabs. So I've said the first one, I can put it at 1.5, left tab. Then I say set. The other one, I can put it at 5. I say set centimeters. The other one, I can put it at 9. I'm using the ruler. All the time, my eyes is on the ruler. And the other one, I can put it at 14. So those are tabs that I can set depending on the document you're doing. You can see 1.5, there's another one at 5, and all of them are L, left tab, meaning left tab, 14. So if I'm typing something, let's say I can say here, for example, subject, if it is a schoolwork project. So subject should start with a capital. It's good to start with the capital letters. Subject. If I press tab key, it takes me, it jumps to 5 according to the ruler. Then I can say that was mathematics. If I press tab, let me go back to mathematics nicely. If I press tab, it jumps to the 9. There I can put what? English. If I tab here, I can put what? Science. I've realized science is very far from the rest. So science was supposed to be at 13. So how do I set the tab to 13? And yet it is 14. So that means I'll go to paragraph, then I go to tabs. Now this 14 here, I need to edit it so that it is what? It is 13. So I'll clear only that, and then I type 13, and then I click on what? Set. Then I click on OK. So you can see it as science has jumped to 13. I want it to jump to, let's say, 12. I can see the big gap still is there. So the same method. You come here, you go to tabs, you click on 13, clear. Don't clear all, just 13 only. If you say clear all the rest will go. Subject, mathematics go. So you just click on clear, and then you type 12, and then you click on, it is a left tab, you click on set, and then you click on OK. So it has moved nicely. That's how you can adjust it. So when you come here, you can say here, the tabulation that I've made is not here. This, instead of subjects here, I can say names. Sorry for that. So I can come here, say names. So when I'm on the next line here, I can say Dennis. So Dennis, maths, I got 80. I tab. English, I got 78. Science, I got 96. If I press tab, the next student, I can say it's called Eric. Eric, tab. Eric got 88. Science, he got 90. And whatever he got, 68. So if I press enter again, I can put another friend of mine who did the paper, Khalid. If I press enter, Khalid got, let's say, 78. Here he got 90, and here he got 100. So you can see what tab does. Tab aligns the document so that it looks as if you have used a table, but tables are not being used. And all that I've been doing so far is called the left tab. You can be able to mix left tab, right tab, center tab, and decimal tab. How is decimal tab applied? We have got several types of tabs, by the way. If I come here, I've been using tab, and I've been using only left. We have got center tab, we have got right tab, we have got decimal tab, and we have got bar tab. So all these things can be well used on the ruler. So I need to clear all, and then I click OK so that I can demonstrate a few things here. So I want to try to apply all of them at once. I don't know if it is going to make sense, but it's important to try and see how it works. So if I click here, I want to set the first tab to be a left tab. So the left tab, I want it to be at 0. So I make sure it is left tab, and then I click on set on the ruler. The second one, I want to set a center tab. So center tab, I want to set it at 6. So I'll type 6, then I say let it be a center tab. Then I click on set. So that will be a center tab. And then after 6, I want number 10. On number 10 to be a right tab. So I'll type 10, and I want it to be a right tab. And then after 10, so let me set it. So number 10, so 0 is a left tab, 6 centimeters is going to be the center tab, and then 10 is going to be the right tab. And then after 10, I'll put 14. So number 14 will be a decimal tab. I'll omit the bar tab for now because it's going to be so crowded. So number 14 will be so I'll click on set, and then I click on OK. Now look at the difference. This is L for left tab. This is center tab. Center tab, the text will move in all sections, right and left. And then the right tab, the text will be typed as if it is Arabic, going towards the right. And then you have got a decimal tab, which will align the decimals in a straight line. So what I can do here, I can say Dennis. You can see when I'm typing Dennis, it's a left tab. It moves towards the right. Dennis Bay. Then if I press enter, I'm in a place called Kajiado. So if I type Kajiado, Kajiado, it is moving. It is moving a place called Ongata Rongai. So you can see it is a center tab. It moves both sides. The text is spreading both sides. Even I don't have space. Let me remove this. Kajiado, or we normally call it Lower Karen. Lower Karen. Then I press tab. So on there, I'm now on the right tab. So when I'm typing on the right tab, the text will be spreading towards the left. Then I can say near. You can see when I'm typing, it's moving near Nairobi. It's moving towards the left, near Nairobi. That is, and then I can say, let's say decimals. I say 3.4. I'm just guessing something. 3.4. Then somebody else, I can type here Khalid Noor. Then I type here Khalid Noor is in Isiolo, and then a place and say Marsabit. You can see when I'm typing what happens. And then here we can say point. So you can see no matter how many digits I type, the decimals are aligned. The last one for you to get it. I can say there's somebody by the name Hussein Farah. Hussein Farah is in Lamu. So let me remove that, Lamu. So I can say that is the coastline. You can see when I'm typing, that one goes the other side. And then I come here. Then I can say point. So the decimal tabs will help me align the decimals. This one will type the text going to the other side. Center tab, it spreads both left and right, and the left tab. So that is it. So I'm left with only one part. And that part that I'm left with, I've already explained on the tabs here. I've explained how to use the left tab, center tab, right tab, and decimal tab. I'm left with the bar tab. I'd shown you how to use these leaders. Leaders is when you want a line. Where was that? There was something here about leaders. Yeah, leaders. This was leaders. You put a price and then it leads you to the item, and it leads you to the price. So let me talk about the bar tab. Bar tab is used to compare. It's like you put a column between two things. So I want to prepare at, the last tab. So I'll come to paragraph here. I go to tabs, and then I clear all this so that I can play around with this figure. So the first one will be a left tab. I'll set it at 1, left tab. I say set. What have I done? I've done something wrong. So I'll click here. I go to tabs again. So left tab, I clicked on set, and then the bar tab, I'll set it at around 5.5. I'm just using the ruler to play around with it. 5.5, but I want it to be a bar tab. Then after the bar tab 5.5, I'll put the other one at 6.5. But 6.5 will be also a right tab. 6. Let me come here, and have I set this one? I've set it now. Let me see if it is a bar tab. Yeah. Now I need to change this one now. 6.5. So I'll put 6.5 to be a left tab. So, and then I click on set. So 1 centimeter is a left tab. 5.5 is a bar tab. 6.5 is a left tab. A combination of 2 left tab and a bar tab. So it's just used to compare. So I'll come here. So it has drawn a vertical line on the bar tab 5.5. So I can say I'm comparing H2 hard disk storage devices over HDD. Then if I press the tab key, I jump there. Then we have got the SSD. So I want it also to be capital SSD. If I press enter there, I go there. So here I can say move slow performance. This side fast. I don't know my capital. Fast performance. I press enter. As I press enter, the bar tab elongates the line going vertically. So it's like I'm comparing the hard disk, the old hard disk of a computer, and the solid state disk. Here I can say this one has got moving parts. This side no moving parts. If I press enter, I can say this one here is heavy. It is heavy and uses more power. This side I can say it is light and uses less what? Less power. So you can see I was just trying to compare, and then the last one may be expensive to purchase. No, no, it's affordable. This one is affordable. Affordable spelling. And then this one is expensive. Expensive to purchase. So that is the difference between the hard disk. So the bar tab will put a vertical line between the two things you are comparing while typing a document. So it is also like you have used a table and you have removed the borders on the table. I'm going back again. This was just basics of Microsoft Word. I'm going back again here, and then now I'll remove a few things on the paragraph here. So I'll come here, I remove the first line, I say none, take it back. This hanging, I'll come here again, I'll come to paragraph. This hanging, I say none. So this one here, also I'll come under paragraph, I'll go there and put here to be 0. Then I click OK. This is just to take it back to the default settings. Also this one here, which was called the right indent. So also this one, I'll take it back to factory settings, which I'll put here to be what? To be 0. And then I click on OK. And then the last one, which was double indent, I'll come here and then I go to paragraph, and then here back to factory settings 0, and also here I put 0. Then I click on OK. So the document is back the way it was. So if I want to play around with this document so that it looks like a newsletter, or maybe they normally see in a magazine, I'll highlight here, select by highlighting, scroll down up to the last part here. This was the last of my paragraph. Then I'll go to a place called layout. So under layout, we have got orientation, we have talked about, and the margins, and also the paper size. But there was something known as columns. So if I go to columns, there are so many types of columns, 2, 3, 4, but I'll go to more columns. Then I tell my computer I want it to have 2 columns. And then I want a partition like the bar tab. So I'll put a partition there. And then the width, the computer has given me the width. So I've selected the 2 columns. So if I click OK here, my document has changed into 2 columns. You can see, so when you're reading it, you read this column up to down, and then you come as if you're reading a newspaper. And then I can also put some fancy things. The video is the first word, but the V is the first character of the first word. So I can select that one there. Then I go to a place called insert. Then I come to a place called drop cap. So under drop cap, I'll go to a place called drop cap. Then I ask myself, let it be dropped. Then I ask myself, on this paragraph, there are 5 lines. How many lines do I want to drop? I can see 3. So if I click OK here, the V has been dropped 5 lines. So it looks like those are things in the magazine. I remember removing this formatting by coming here, you go to home, and then you clear the formatting. So it is back to the way it was. So that is how you can play around with this. So I've put a drop cap on this one here. And then you can decide now, the heading was font. It is centered, well underlined with a wavy line. Your page should have a page border. So you'll go to layout. Is it design? Yeah, design. And then you go to page border. And then you can choose the kind of line you want. So if you want a simple line, you can click there. You click OK. You have a page border. If you want to make it more fancy, you click here. Then you go to, you can scroll down and look for more that are down there. So you can come here, you click here, and then if I click here, the decoration changes. But some people will like it more fancy, but by coming to art, and then they look for these decorations which are down here. There is monkey business here. You can also try and reduce the size because it's too big. The graphics are too big. Let's say 10. Then you click OK. The reason why I was reducing it to 10, it could even cover my header. My header is well displayed here. My name, I've done it on a Saturday. The date is there. And then my footer, remember my footer, it was having the page number, it was having the file name, the file extension, and the file path. And then also it applies on the second document. So all the pages will have headers and footers. If you want to change the page color, also you can come here, and then you can choose fill effects, and then you can play around with texture, pattern, picture. So if I'm on ingredient here, I can take 2 pictures. The first one, I can choose a color that I want, and then you choose another color, and then you play around with the shading style. Is it diagonal? So depending on how you want to play around with the document, and then you have a fancy Microsoft Word document. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm playing around with this menu. This menu is good for you to experiment and be able to know how to use it. I've really tried using quite a number of applications, but there's one that I've not applied, so I need to apply. I need to insert a picture. So the picture, I don't have the picture, so I want it after the Word document. So I'll click after the Word document, I press enter. After pressing enter, I'll go to insert, then I go to picture. If it is not on the device, I'll go to online pictures. So I'll click on online pictures. After clicking on online pictures, I'll go to a place called search. After clicking on search, I'll type what I want. So to be able to say, let's say good friends. So if I press enter, I don't know if my internet will be able to allow me to get some pictures. Yeah, I can see it is coming. So there are some pictures which come. I have typed good friends. So the picture are coming. Let me scroll, I see. Although it's not giving me a very big preview. So let me see, what can I do? Which one is a bit clear? Let me see. Yeah, let me take this. And then I click on insert. So the picture appears. It is too big. So it is important to know that in Microsoft Word, when you're resizing a picture, you have to remember the aspect ratio so that it's not distorted. If you don't maintain the aspect ratio, your picture will be distorted. And to do that, it has got some placeholders on the picture. So I'll put the cursor here, it changes the shape, press shift, and then try to resize it while holding shift down. So by doing that, you are not distorting your pictures. So also on the other side here, you can also try and resize it like that. Now, if you want this picture to move smoothly in Microsoft Word so that it doesn't disturb you, go to this place called picture format, go to position, and take the center one. So if you take the center one, it has gone somewhere down here. But now you can see it can move anywhere there you want it to move just by doing that. So I'll bring it after the word document. But I can see things are running away from it. The text is running away from it. So we need to make sure that it is a friend to the text by coming to wrap text, and then we choose what? Tight. So after choosing tight, now I can come and put it after the word document. Where is the word document? So I can even come and put it here after the word document. This header, you can press enter so that it goes down there. So you have this document here. You can bring the rest now up by pressing delete or backspace. Let's say delete. So you can see the text now can mingle with the text. In fact, you can resize it a little bit so that it takes the entire party. So you bring it up there. So it is on the other side. Also this part, shift and resize so that you maintain the aspect ratio like that. So your picture is there. And the picture, you can also put frames on the picture. So the frames are there. So you can choose any frame that you want on the picture so that your picture also has a frame. So when you do like that, that's how you play around in Microsoft Word. So we have played around with page border. We have played around with page color. We have played around with this feature called drop cap, and it has dropped 3 lines. We have played around with how to insert a picture, and we have played around how to put the border on the page. And if you wanted to crop, also you can use the crop feature, which is here, so that you can truncate part of the picture. So if I click on crop, it will give me that, so I can be able to cut the lower side like that, and then I click outside. So I've cropped the picture to some extent. If you want this girl, this looks like the mother, and this is the girl, you want to flip them so that the mother is on the right, moves to the right, and the daughter moves to the right. You come to this place here under picture format, you click here, and then you flip horizontally. So you can see the daughter has moved to the other side and the girl has moved to the other side. So Microsoft Word is powerful. It has got all those features that you can apply. I was just giving a basic tour of Microsoft Word, how to move around. So once you have finished your work, you'll click up here, save, Control S, and then you can click on this feature which shows you everything that you have done. It shows you where the enter key was pressed. You can see how it looks like, and then eventually also you can click to remove it. And then the most important thing to do if you're typing a document, you do spell checking to check if your spelling is correct. You go to review, and then you click on spelling and grammar. So by doing that, it will ask you what is this Kenya shillings, but Kenya shillings is not whatever, so I'll say ignore all, and then it checks for me Isiolo. Isiolo is a town which is not recognized English. Ignore all. Marsabit also ignore all. And then spelling and grammar check is complete. It's important to do that so that when you present your document and print it out, it's grammatically correct without errors. I could have continued and continued and continued. The last bit that I can talk about before I finish my tour in Microsoft Word is how to play around with tables, because table is a very, very crucial thing. Table is found under insert again. So I'll click on insert, then I look around, I'm seeing tables, and then I can see there are so many boxes there. Go to insert table down here, and then ask yourself, how many columns do you want? Columns are vertical. So I can say I want five columns. And how many rows do you want? I want 3. So those are the number. You adjust it according to the you want. If you click OK, you have your table. If you discovered that, let's say, for example, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. This side I can say 2, 3, I can say 4, I can say 5. So I want the rows, there are 3 rows. I've just discovered I wanted 4 rows. Rows are these ones going horizontally. So I want to add the 4th one. Click on the last box. Press the tab key, which is on top of caps lock. Press tab key once. You get the 4th one. I see. If you want the 5th one, click on the last box, the last cell, a box or a cell where the cursor is dancing. Press the tab key. You get the 5th one automatically. If you want to delete the 2nd one, put the cursor on the end here. When it is an arrow, click on it once, and then a menu pops up. Then you click here, then you choose what? Delete the row. As simple as that. If you want to delete column 2, this one here, put the cursor on top here. When it changes to that arrow, click on it, and then the delete appears, and then you say delete what? Columns. It goes. So that's how you play around. If you want to merge the cells, you select cell 1, 2, 3, and 4, excluding cell 5 maybe, and then you right click, and then you can get what is called merge cell. Right clicking is very powerful. So it has merged, but now you need to remove the numbers. So number 4, 3, and 1. So so that remains as 1. So this cell has been merged. If you want to split the cell, you select it, right click, then you can say split. So split how many? Let's say 3. Then you click on OK. So you have splitted these into 3. So here there is A, there is B, splitted, and then there is C. So that's how we play around with tables. And also tables, let's say for example here was 6, and here was, let's say, 10, and here was, let's say, 11. And then if I press tab key, I get another one. If you wanted to add 5 plus 6 plus 10 plus 11. There's a feature for that also. So that one, I'll go to a place called table layout, and then I check there, is there a formula? Yeah, the formula is here. So I'll click here, and then I'll tell it sum above. So it is going to sum the figures which are above. If I click OK, it gives me the totals. If it was on this side, let's say here was 30, here was 60, and here was 20, and I need to get the answer here. So when I'm doing the calculation now, I'll put the cursor here, I'll go to formula. Now I have to tell it not sum above. I'll tell it sum left. Sum what? Left. Then if I click OK, it sums the things which are on the left side. The other thing about tables is that you can select it and play around with these borders here. These borders is very powerful. So what I'll do, I'll click here. I choose the style of line that I want. All these are lines. So if I want this line here, I'll tell the computer where I want to place it. I've chosen the style, but I tell the computer, where do I want it? I want it on the outside. So I'll click here. So it will apply it on the outside. If I want this partition, the first partition to be different, I'll come and choose the style that I want. Let's say this one here. Then I come and tell the computer, because I've selected that, I'll put it on the top. So it will put it on the top. So that's how you play around with these borders. And if you want to shade your picture, your table, you select the cells that you want to shade, you click here, and then you choose the color that you want. So eventually, the shade will apply to the area that you want. If you want to resize these columns, you just put the cursor there and resize them. So tables is also very good to experiment and know how to use them like that. So I'm coming to an end because I've really applied so many features. Under home, I've moved around here. One day I'll be able to put a video of how to use tiles. I know many people don't use tiles, where we have got things like styles of fonts, where there's sans serif or serif. I've talked about insert. Insert here, we have got tables. There is also chart. You can prepare a chart in Microsoft Word. You can also use shapes. Also another video, I'll come and play around with shapes. So how do you use when you're drawing a flow chart? How do you use this flow, the shapes which are here? I'll be able to use these other features that I've not mentioned today, because there's no way you can prepare a video and talk about all these features in Microsoft Word. So for my viewers who are going to watch this document, I hope it is going to be useful to you how to apply the features that I've done. This was a basic Microsoft Word tour. Thank you for watching, and expect another video tomorrow, Sunday, on Microsoft Word. Thank you so much.